Thank you for giving me these moments today to talk about something that weighs heavily on all of us right now. How do we show up for one another when tragedy strikes? How do we begin to heal after devastating events like the floods in the Texas Hill Country? When we see families lose their children, entire communities are rocked by grief. Many of us, including myself, feel helpless. We want to help, but we don't know what to say. We don't want to make it worse. We worry we'll say the wrong thing, so sometimes we say nothing at all. Dr. Bruce Perry, a world-renowned trauma expert, has spent decades studying how trauma affects us, and more importantly, how we can heal. Today, I want to share with you 5 powerful lessons Dr. Perry gives us. These lessons remind us that healing doesn't just happen in therapy offices. It happens in living rooms, churches, dinner tables, on our sidewalks, in schools, and through the small moments of compassion we offer each other. I hope we all take from this that we can truly make a difference in someone's healing journey. First, we have to understand the layers of impact. Trauma ripples outward. Those closest to the tragedy feel the deepest pain, but entire communities are affected. Some feel the devastating heartbreak of losing a child. Others witness the aftermath. Even those watching on the news feel similar pain. If we try to rely only on our traditional mental health system, an hour with a therapist once a week, we'll never meet the need. So who does the healing? We do. Each of us, with our presence, our listening ears, our acts of kindness. Second, healing comes from connection, not just therapy. Yes, therapy helps, but Dr. Perry says it's really the tiny, consistent moments that heal our brains after trauma. It's the hug from a neighbor, the hot meal dropped off at the door, the friend who sends a text to say, "I'm thinking of you." Our brains change through small, repeated doses of kindness, not one big dramatic gesture. So don't underestimate that simple cup of coffee you bring over, that meal you deliver, that check-in phone call weeks later. These moments help regulate our nervous systems and remind us we are not alone. Third, be present even when it's uncomfortable. This may be the hardest one. Showing up for someone in pain is uncomfortable. It's awkward. You don't know what to say. You're scared you'll say the wrong thing. But do what Dr. Perry teaches us, is that we don't need perfect words, we need presence. He says all relationships are about rupture and repair. You may say something that doesn't land well. That's okay. Stay, apologize, try again. What matters is that you do not flee. Healing happens when we stay close to each other, even when the pain is big. Sometimes silence is enough. Sometimes all you can do is sit next to someone in their grief. That's presence. That is love. Fourth, keep showing up over the long haul. In the early days after tragedy, communities often rally. We bring casseroles. We gather donations. We attend vigils. But what happens 3 months later? 6 months later? The news cycle moves on, but the pain doesn't. Dr. Perry warns us that the hardest struggles often come later, when people feel forgotten. Families seem fine on the outside, going back to work, mowing the lawn, but inside, they're still wrestling with waves of grief, guilt, and loss. So what do? We put reminders on our calendars. We check in after the crowds are gone. We keep delivering meals. We keep inviting them to talk or just sit with us. We show them that they are not alone, not just today, but in the months to come. Fifth, communities are the real helpers. One of Dr. Perry's most important lessons is that true healing comes in communities. In schools, in churches, faith groups, neighborhoods, even local businesses. He talks about making a social contact map, being intentional about knowing who has been affected and staying in touch. Schools can gather students for small check-ins. Churches can organize meal trains and prayer circles. Local businesses can offer help with rebuilding. And each of us as individuals can ask ourselves, who do I know who's hurting? How can I lighten their load even in a small way? We must remember we were never meant to live or to grieve alone. Human beings heal in groups. Our job is to keep showing up for each other long after the headlines fade. Closing, a call to action and hope. So what do? We remember that presence matters more than perfection. Words whisper, actions shout. Dr. Perry says we must hold on to the power of connection, not just when tragedy strikes, but every day. We sit with each other. We tolerate the discomfort. We don't run away when things get hard. And if you remember one thing from today, let it be this. Healing doesn't belong to the professional therapist alone. Healing belongs to all of us. It's in every hug, every meal dropped off, every text that says, I'm here for you. So today I invite you to take one small step. Think of one person you can reach out to, someone you know is struggling, or maybe you haven't heard from in a while. Send the text, make the call, drop off the meal. When we do that, we build a foundation of healing that no flood can wash away. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for being present. And thanks for being the reason someone else finds hope again.